Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Jordan Fisher.
I'm Tim and Tapman.
I'm Cypher PK, and this is the May Contain.
The May Contain.
The May Contain Action podcast.
Available on Apple, Spotify, Google Play, and more.
Welcome to the May Contain Action podcast, where your two favorite people talk about content, pop culture, and gaming with their favorite people. Support for the May Contain Action podcast is brought to you by Manscaped, the best in men's below the belt grooming. Manscaped offers precision engineered tools. That's a tongue twister for your family jewels. I am host number 2. I've relinquished it because it means a lot to Paul. Trevor May, aka IamTrevorMay on Twitch, and host number 1 is ActionJaxon, aka Paul. Hello, Paul. Hi, welcome.
Hey, it's freaking me. What's up, mother?
Your mic sounds good.
You sound great.
Thank
Sound
you.
great.
You haven't entered the room yet, Brandon.
Gosh. And there was our guest who was going to be a surprise, but now he's not. But it's fine because 80% of the time it's not.
Yeah.
It's a 1 in a million talent, professional gamer extraordinaire, both as a streamer and as an actual papered on the stage at a LAN professional player. Seagal is here.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely.
Hello. That's me.
Hell yeah, dude. What's up,
Once
Seagal?
a professional. Hello, gamers.
What's up? That's what they do.
That's what crows do.
I mean, I felt like that was a pretty good Seagal impression. Just kind of one Seagal to another, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I got you.
Couple
What's up,
Seagal
man?
runs.
How's everything going?
Oh,
How you been
it's
doing
going,
with quarantine and everything? Good?
I'm doing pretty well. You know, it's been an unfortunate timing for me. I was moving closer to Seattle as that all hit. So, yeah, I got more interesting for everything.
Yikes. You're moving
Wait.
into the epicenter.
Yeah.
Wait, you're a Seattleite, right? Correct? Yes.
Yeah. I'm
Yes,
around from
same.
there. Yeah. Oh, nice.
I am also from Seattle. I think we talked about that once. Yeah, I was actually gonna move back at the same time. Like, it was spring training was canceled. They're like, all right, go home, and I was like, well, can't. And they're like, well, you
Dang.
go to Minneapolis.
Oh,
Now I'm
dang.
here. Yeah, but the same.
Same. I'm
The
not from
things have gotten
Seattle,
better.
so
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
turn up Central New York, you know what I'm saying?
Turn up.
Where my CNY people at? What's going on?
Isn't it still kind of west? No,
Excuse
it's
me?
not. Buffalo's west. Sorry.
I'm literally in the
confused.
middle of the state. Yeah, I don't know
Sorry,
what
I
you're
got
talking about.
confused. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
It's my fault.
It's all right. Where my garbage play people at? You know what I'm saying?
Stop it.
Sorry.
Dang.
Too far. Well, Seagal, I'm glad you're from Seattle because Trevor immediately takes people more seriously when they're from like
Exactly.
the general
I'm so
Seattle
happy. I
area.
have a huge smile on my face. If you could see me, I have a huge smile.
Loves it when they're from
Yeah, we
Seattle.
can-
I do have a question, by the way. This is more of a tech
Yeah.
question.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Where should I be putting my webcam here?
Preferably on your face, I would.
Like on my stream?
It doesn't have to. I mean, if you want to, you can. You don't have to have video. Don't even worry about it.
Oh,
honestly.
yeah, no, because you don't really do. Yeah.
Oh,
So-
no,
Yeah,
no.
no.
I just, okay. I have 2 PCs and it's plugged in the wrong PC.
Oh.
Ooh.
That's
I've
all.
done
That's
that.
all. Just give me,
Okay.
yeah.
I leave you guys, Trevor and PM, to handle this stuff, to hammer it out while I'm gone, and you guys couldn't do that while I was gone.
Yep. True. True.
Cool.
I forgot about the no cam.
Yeah. Cool. No, that's cool.
But it's, it is.
Yeah,
We're
this is a
really
second-rate
flexible over
podcast.
here. Alls we need is audio. I mean, outside of that, we could always just have a seagull flapping around on the screen the whole time.
If we could somehow get a seagull to be actively flapping on the screen and move its mouth at the same time that seagull moves his mouth,
PM,
Don't
That'd
you
be
worry.
amazing.
I'm going to fix this.
put it in post.
that'd be outstanding. But in post,
in
PM, that
post?
sounds easy enough.
That's too much.
Okay.
Nope. Do your job. Okay. Perfect. Well, Seagull, we want to get to know you. I'm imagining talking to an actual seagull now. We want to get to know you. And one of those things is probably one of the most obvious is where your name comes from. So we want to know where Seagull came from. And if it wasn't your first name, right? Like the first online presence name you had, what was it before that?
Ooh, I don't actually remember which name I was using before that. I would say I think I was just using random names. I don't think I had settled on one.
Really?
Yeah,
Nothing
because I was so
particular,
young.
like-
I picked Seagal when I was 12.
Oh wow.
And
Jeez.
Damn.
Wow.
yeah, you know, some people they when they're kids they pick crappy names and then they grow up
Yeah.
with those names and then they can't change it and they're just stuck with the name.
Yeah.
Young me was not too much of a fool, so I was lucky in that regard.
Yeah,
and
you were on it.
yeah, I was good. And back then, I played this little game called Half-Life 2 Deathmatch, which was a mod
Whoa.
for Half-Life 2 back in 2004.
Love
And
that.
in that time period, they left cheats on in the multiplayer game. And so you could become anything in the game that you wanted. So like you could set your model to be anything. It could be like a desk. You could run around as a desk. You could run around as like a mountain or a house or anything. It was just, they accidentally left it on in the game. It wasn't supposed to be, right? And so everyone was running around trolling. And I left mine as a seagull because the problem was the game had no idea what would happen if you were like a house and you died. What happens? A house can't die. The game would just freak out and crash. And so I didn't want to crash, so I just became a seagull because you could kill birds in the game, so it knew what to do. And that is the lore of. That's the lore, dude.
That was an extremely practical decision. You're like,
Houses don't die, so
It
I
was.
was a
crash
seagull.
my game. What can die in this game besides people, obviously, because I can't be one of those. Seagull. I love it. And then you just did you make your name Seagull then?
Yeah, it was just called a space seagull, and then I just ran around.
Oh my
just
God,
as
the
a
A
little
is
tiny little
a
seagull.
seagull.
Sorry.
Yeah,
That is
Seagull, a house can't die is probably my favorite quote. Well, a house can't die, so
obviously.
obviously, yeah.
that
Obviously.
would crash the game, of course.
That's so you did that at
Incredible.
12 and you just went with Seagull from that point on every game you played.
Pretty much.
It worked. I mean,
It's
unique,
I enjoy my name. I like it.
easy
It's
to
not
say.
it's not super common, so I like it.
You're
It
telling
isn't.
me you didn't have anything before that, like XX Fragmaster XX?
I did,
or
but I had like
anything.
4 or 5 of them. So it was just they were just random names.
You remember any of them? Give me your best
You
one.
remember
What?
one? Like, you remember?
No,
any
it was
just
like
outrageous
Evil
one?
Man or something.
Oh, okay, so it was just like random generated. Like I had put
No,
a hole in you.
I would
once.
actually just go press like random like RNG name generator. Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Uh,
You landed on
you-
Seagull.
Just a memer, weren't you? Just
You
a
said-
little.
You said yours was put a hole in you, Trevor? What?
That in America's Army Online. That's what my name was.
Wow, that's a throwback, dude.
Mhm.
Wow.
I'm
Put a
old.
hole in you.
Paul, did you ever
Okay.
play AAO? America's Army Online?
No, I've just heard of that just now. So no.
Think about Tarkov, except without any of the stuff, and also graphics from 2002.
Yeah, it was
America's
old, man.
Army
Yeah.
Online.
Basically, the government commissioned, the army commissioned a game to be made to basically recruit people to come to the army.
No
And-
freaking way.
And the
Yep.
two or three guys I played with, all went in the army.
No way.
Okay, that is called like dang. I
They
guess
did it.
that works.
They got them. Actually, no, I lied. One was in
They
the Air
got 'em.
Force, but yeah, they all went into the military.
Wow.
And yeah, and I
I'm
was
looking
like,
at screenshots and man.
it's dude, and it was one of those like you get shot, you're dead.
Oh,
Yeah, it
sure.
was a very
Yeah.
fast TTK.
Very
Yeah.
fast. Yeah, just
You
one
wouldn't-
shot, dead.
You wouldn't want anything other than that in a game that's supposed to represent real life. So that
And,
makes
and
sense.
actually in the game, so the Tarkoviness was the like you have to get from
Wow.
this point in the map to the other point in the map without being killed, and you're like crawling through the brush for like 20 minutes, and if you get there, then you unlock playing like a sniper because you have the covert. Like,
Oh, okay.
yeah, you actually had to. If you wanted to be a medic in the game, you had to go and virtually sit at a desk and take the exam.
Oh yeah, I remember that. There was actual in-game class.
There was in-game class where you watched a PowerPoint, had to remember the stuff, and then answer the questions correctly in order to be a medic in the game. Yeah.
It was, dude.
That's amazing.
Honestly, yeah, they did not mess around.
They
Wow.
did not. They're like, no, seriously, this is what it's like in the military. So
Fucking
we'll
exam.
give you money too. All right. And it worked. Okay, anyway, back to the task at hand. Seagal.
Outstanding. Sorry. Yeah.
Houses can't die, so we have Seagal now.
Yep, that's me.
All right. Oh.
Yeah. You should just literally say that whenever someone asks, why did you choose the name Seagal? Because houses can't die.
Not wrong.
Walk away.
Move on.
Houses can't die, dude. Use your brain and just walk off.
Houses can't die. Outstanding.
I love it. I love it. Well, this is why I'm so excited that you're from Seattle for this next question.
Uh-oh. I mean, I'm not really from directly Seattle, but you know what I mean.
No, you're born and raised
I'm not
downtown
either.
Seattle.
Bro, I'm from Kelso. I'm not from anywhere near Seattle. I just lived there for the last 12 years. So,
Like from that 70s show?
yeah, it's
Kelso?
it's a town in Scotland, bro. Just save it. All right. So you're from the Northwest though. So this is my question that I'm excited to ask every time. Fast food. It plays a role in every person who plays lots of video games life in one way or shape or form.
Why do you hype this up so much, dude?
I just
Why
love
do you
it.
really
Let me
does.
tell the story, dude.
Oh my gosh. All right, go ahead.
It really does, doesn't it? So, like I just said, I played America's Army Online. When I got my first car, I was 16, and at that time, I was playing WoW and grinding. And it was Burning Crusade, right? And it was time to get Taco Bell on weekends and stop at the Shell station and get some energy drinks. Go with my Taco Bell so that I can play and try to get, the sword of truth or whatever. Right? That wasn't a real thing. But
That's not a real item in the game.
there's an actual book called Sword of Truth, but that's neither here nor there.
Okay.
So I have this attached. Taco Bell is my nostalgic fast food of choice. So my question to you is, do you have a fast food place linked to you being a hardcore gamer, or just from being younger? Like it can be regional.
Only Burger King.
Clear. Burger King.
Not because it was good, but because it was close to my parents' house.
You only went to Burger King. You were the first.
Well, no, not
32
only.
episodes.
In terms of memory relating to things,
Burger King.
more than likely more Burger King than anything else. Is either Burger King, every once in a while McDonald's.
Burger King.
Every once in a while, McDonald's.
Okay.
So like if you had a Whopper meal sitting on your desk, right, and you haven't eaten it, you just smell it, but you're playing a game. Is that like if I smell Taco Bell and it's sitting there and I'm like playing a game, I have there's a connection there. I'm like, oh, I'm playing games. There's Taco Bell around. Like I literally have that connection in my brain. You have that?
No.
Damn it. Okay, I like Taco Bell more than anybody likes anything else. We got it.
Listen, it's not like I went out to eat regularly. That.
Good point.
No, like
No.
dude.
No, I don't have that. You sound like a serial killer.
Dude. I mean, hey, eating food out, that's expensive, man. Do that regularly, it adds up. Young me was poor. I didn't go out to eat. I went out to eat like
whiff
once a year.
Okay, I gotta remember everyone's different, but I lived off fast food too. Like both my parents worked like 12 hours a day. Like I was just like, I'm gonna drive down because my parents are starting home from work at 8. I'm just gonna go drive down and get. So that was kind of it. But yeah, I was hoping you'd say taco time. Basically, I was fishing for a taco time.
You were really making that obvious. Apparently, you wanted that.
Yeah, but nope. The Seattleite didn't say taco time. Feels bad.
Is there a particular meal, Seagal, that you associate with gaming?
A particular meal.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Or food group, or I don't know, anything in particular.
All right. 2010. StarCraft 2 had just released. I was like
Paint a
16,
damn picture. Let's go.
17 years old.
Take me there. Yeah.
I was an absolute degenerate, living in my mom's basement. Just got done with high school, going to community college.
God.
Up till 3 a.m. every night, eating frozen taquitos, watching the GSL. Because I started at 2 a.m. because it was in South Korea. Those frozen taquitos, dude. That's what I remember.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's a common one.
Talking about frozen taquitos.
What'd you dip them in?
Nothing. That's what made me a degenerate.
A little bit, not even Cholula, like
nothing.
Just shove them in my mouth, dude.
All right, cool. To each his own. Burger King taquitos dry. Got it.
You were really hoping.
So just so everyone knows, him being from the Northwest doesn't affect any of that stuff at all.
Nope.
None of it.
Nope.
My hopes crushed, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Brandon had a really great family structure in which they made meals every night, and so he always had a meal. That's really
Good
nice.
point.
Good point. It's good.
So it's
really
your fault,
revealing.
Mom. All right.
So you touched on it with the taquitos, staying up to 2 a.m. watching, Korean late night or whatever you're watching. What did you do? Yeah. What did you do before you were a full-time streamer, Brandon? Like, what was your job or jobs?
Sure.
And when did you decide to take this venture full-time into, in your case, professional gaming?
So, trying to think. Ever since I was a youngin', a wee lad, you could say, I have been hardcore gaming. So I want to say I started entering into my first tournaments, or just online competitive play, probably when I was 8.
Okay.
And so those were random cups for Half-Life 1 mods. So in particular, those would be things like Vampire Slayer, I think was one of the first ones. And then I was also playing MMOs. So the big one I was playing was Arcade of Camel at the time. And that was MMO came out in 2001. And then later in Half-Life 2 Deathmatch, when I was 12 years old, I started playing in online cups and tournaments. And trying to think, probably 13 at the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Jeez.
I started very early because I just 13. Lived on my PC. Yeah, that's what I did.
Goodness gracious. Okay. See, I feel like this whole idea too of like, maybe I'm crazy, but this whole idea of like a good, competent esports player is that now the younger you are, the better. I feel like I remember thinking when I was younger that like kids suck at games. Like you need to be in your like early or late teens, early 20s to be good at games. And now, I mean, in the past 6 months, we've shown that a 12-year-old can absolutely clap you at Fortnite. So for you to be that young, were you perceived as being really bad at the game, or just based off your age, or like do people know, like, oh, he's 13, he's a god?
So back then I got made fun of because I was so young. So like I taught like, dude, my voice wasn't, I didn't even have a mic. And when I finally got a mic and I was like 11 years old, everyone made fun of me because I was a squeaker.
You're a squeaker.
I mean,
yeah, so they just made fun of me.
You know?
Yeah.
It was tough.
Stomped them.
Your voice has really leveled out since, I gotta be honest. You know.
yeah, I grew up a little bit. We were good.
That's good.
I had some growing years between 12 and 27.
Took a little bit of time, but you made it.
Yeah, I made it.
Would you also say that you were like you said, you're playing the Half-Life mods, like games that traditionally had a little bit of an older group playing them, like Fortnite's a cartoon game, like when everyone else was playing whatever was out at that time for kids.
All his kids played Half-Life though, the same way that all the kids play Fortnite, and there's a billion games where all the kids go these days. It wasn't like we had fucking Minecraft and Fortnite and games similar to those. Back then, we just didn't have those. You had MMOs.
Oh yeah,
how many kids do you know that you guys grew up playing WoW? Like throughout high school and even before that, if they're young, they just started on WoW.
True.
Literally everybody.
A lot of people did.
Okay.
Like, well, I'm just saying, like all of my friends who.
No, I mean, I just knew Tim the Tamman introduced me to WoW when we were in high school, so I had no real experience with MMOs up to that point, or even thought that you could effectively game on a computer. I just thought that it was an inferior way to game. I didn't realize until I got older. So
he lacked the knowledge.
The opposite of that. Well, like I always say, and I've said this a lot of times, I grew up, so that same, basically my best friend who introduced me to America's Army, his dad was like built PCs. So like nice. They had 6 computers in their house.
Yeah.
So like we had a LAN center in 2004, like in their, back room. So like that's an advantage. I'm going to play a bunch of games that other people aren't going to play because they, the access isn't that easy.
Exactly.
At that time.
Just imagine those LAN parties, dude, trucking around those gigantic CRTs.
Yeah.
Back in my day.
I mean, LAN parties were still like pretty much exclusively Halo 1 and Halo 2 at that time. because that's what the other kids would play. So like we were like, let's have 8 people play, and then us 2 are the ones that play PC games. And everyone's like, well, we don't play anything you play. We're like, well, let's play Halo.
Yeah.
So that's what we did. But you know, I mean, I have a brother who's 6 years older than me. So we had an NES, and then we had an SNES, and then we had a 64. And like he was old enough to where all those things were brand new, and he was the age that those like 12-year-old when the SNES came out, and I was 6. So like I wouldn't normally play that, but he was there. So like I had him, and then I had I'm realizing in real time right now that I was surrounded by video games, like, and people who played them, and it was a perfect storm of being able to play everything. You know, I wanted to. That's probably why I'm here right now.
Yeah,
It's really convenient.
if my dad was a firefighter, but in his spare time he loved playing with PCs, and so I grew up with PCs, and he taught me how to build my own computer when I was growing up, and that's what we did.
That's
And
wild. Really?
yeah, so that was the sort of thing that without that I would have never gotten into any of this.
Of course.
It's true.
Yeah, it does. It's like
crazy.
it has a much higher kind of barrier to entry, just at least for PC games when you're young.
Yeah.
Or it did. Now actually it's getting easier and easier, but back then it was hard. So that's why it was kind of rare, as opposed to like, I don't know, playing sports. Like, you know, you could sign up for sports everywhere. You could sign up for anything and play it, right?
It was revealing to me, Seagal, and this is kind of specifically in your situation where the father is kind of into gaming or into computers or what have you. When I was watching a small documentary about Booga and how he won the Fortnite World Cup and all that, and just how intense his dad was and like into gaming and into computers and all that kind of a thing. And I just remember thinking like, that's the coolest thing ever. Like my dad didn't even know anything at all about computers. So the thought that you could have, but he knew a lot about sports. So you thought that you could have a dad or a figure in your life that like mentors you through gaming is awesome. So the fact that your dad was a firefighter, but also built computers and taught you how to build one. I didn't learn how to build one until I was like 23. So that's awesome.
He would sit down, walk me through it, and it was. They were always very supportive of me spending my time online. Mostly because I was such a nerdy kid. I didn't have that many friends. So if they could watch me make friends online, that's awesome. Because I'm playing with groups of, honestly, most of my teammates back then were kids from the same age as me, who were also just turbo nerds, and we're just hanging out playing in these tournaments together. Like the Half-Life 2 deathmatch community back then. This is a deathmatch community in 2005. If you're not playing Quake, you're just an idiot. And like all the kids are idiots. So we're all just hanging out playing Half-Life 2 deathmatch because we thought throwing toilets was cool. And so that's what we did. And so everyone that I played with was pretty much as young as I was, and that was my childhood, was just growing up with like a community of, I don't know, just a bunch of online turbo nerd kids.
Dude, that's amazing.
And now we have Discord, and they're everywhere.
Yes,
everyone's
now they're everywhere.
Dude. Oh
Everyone's
yeah,
a nerd, and well, now kids, you know, they all wear Supreme and play Fortnite. How the times have changed.
True. Or have Yeezys, you know, one of the two.
So you played competitively, like since you could actually start.
Yeah.
When did you decide to go full time into your stream? When did you start full time? Like, I'm going to be a pro player / streamer. Like, I'm not going to.
Oh, I mean, even when I was a kid, that's the dream. You want to be a pro. Like you're 12 years old, you see Fatality, and you see these guys playing CPL and all these old school tourneys, and these players, those were the figureheads back then. I still remember. I don't know, I was always very serious about it, and I was always very lucky to have the amount of support I did, even from my friends. So, like when I was 12, I was playing Half-Life 2 Deathmatch, for example. I played that for like 5 years, and so I think I was 13 or I was 14, and I had a garbage PC. I had, I think, 20 FPS in game, right? And I was trying to compete. It was truly garbage. And
oh my gosh.
One of my friends was like 3 years older than me, so he could actually get a job. He was like 15. and so he was so funny, dude. I still talk to this guy every now and again, by the way. And
it's good. Keep him in your life. It's good.
Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna send you enough money to buy a PC. I was like, how? Wait, what? He's like, I'll just mail you some. And so he did. He mailed me $500 in the mail. And I didn't even know how he got that money at first. Because this kid's like 50. Yeah, this is a true story. And this guy is amazing, by the way. I fucking love this guy. He's hilarious. Because also he had that money back then because he was a 15-year-old kid who worked at a library. But then he realized that power leveling people in Classic WoW paid him more money, so he quit that job and did that full time for Classic WoW power leveling, and he was making a shit ton more money. So he could just send me $500 to buy me a new PC. And my parents got it in the mail. We're like, "What the fuck? Like, how did you get $500 in the mail?" I'm like, "My friend sent it to me." They're like, "Who are you talking to?"
What are you giving him?
Yeah,
That's all I had to do.
yeah, dude, it was hilarious.
Mom,
And then-
it's crazy. I got $500. I just sent pictures of my feet.
And so we bought a new PC for me, and then I started playing a lot better, and we were competing and stuff like that. And it wasn't like I grew up with much money, and so even my parents, obviously that's a shit ton of money. Like back then I was buying a new PC on average like every 5 years or something, like upgrading pieces and stuff like that. I had to play it very safe, which is why I pay a lot of attention to like game optimizations and stuff like that today, and I try to know everything about it, because that's what I had to do as a kid growing up, was I had to know everything about a game start to finish to push it to the limits of your computer, basically, because I had a crappy PC the whole time I was growing up.
Yeah.
But that's one wild story from the Half-Life 2 Deathmatch era. It was an interesting time. Yeah, I talked to him just last month. I have him on Discord now. He's a cool dude. I think nowadays he just mostly plays COD and just hangs out.
Sends people $500 in the mail.
Oh, he's total bro. I played with this guy for like 10 years. Crazy. Like, he was my teammate forever. His name is Yard Guy. He's total bro.
Yard Guy.
That's outstanding.
Well, Paul, think back, think like a guild leader or something sending, you know what I mean? Like for WoW.
Oh yeah. I think from now on, I'm just gonna like ask my chat to donate to me in actual dollar bills in the mail. I set up a PO box.
It was crazy. I don't know, dude. Early that entire era, that entire game was so wild. Like, okay, here's another story from that game time for me, right?
It is.
Verizon walks into this scene, a scene of like nothing in it, right? Remember all the good players back then, you go play Quake. Because that's where everyone is. Quake is the big game. Verizon walks in, they're like, what if we just have like 100,000 tournament, but the winner wins 100K and no one else wins anything?
What?
No one else wins anything.
No, if you get second place, you get a computer. If you get first place, you get 100K. And so everyone in this tournament had to be 18 or older. And so I couldn't play, but I was one of the best players in the game. And no one else could play because all the best players in the game are kids who are like 15, 16 at this point.
Of course.
And so a guy from Quake walks in who had never played Half-Life 2 Deathmatch and won 100K, $100,000.
Dude.
Oh my God.
That is life-changing money right there. That's wild.
Dude, that's like...
Holy crap.
Yeah.
And what year is this, by the way?
2005, I think. 2006.
Bro.
Might have been 7. I think it's 2006.
$100,000 in 2006? That's a ton of money now.
It's always a ton of money. That's a ridiculous amount of money. And
it's always a ton of money.
And to think that, so this guy, his name was Microwave. He just came over from Quake, joined Half-Life 2 Deathmatch. He's like, I heard there's this 100K tournament. I'm gonna play in this, and he just won.
Wait.
It was just solo deathmatch.
Yeah, it was a 1v1 tournament. So winner takes all.
His name is Microwave?
Microwave. Yeah, back then. You could probably Google around, find it.
Not microwave, but
Micah. No, Micah, because his name was Micah.
Micah, yeah.
That's the most amazing name I have heard. That's an incredible playoff word.
Second most amazing behind Seagal, but close.
Yeah.
Shut your damn mouth.
And so,
Microwave.
Yeah, it was cool, dude. It was a special time. That era was wild, though. Half-Life 2 Deathmatch. Yeah, that was a crazy era. That's for sure.
Holy crap.
And then after that, I got into Team Fortress 2, which was 2007. That's when the real fun started, because Team Fortress 2, obviously also a super small game, but it it was big enough to support LAN tournaments. So you could actually go meet people IRL and compete, which was awesome.
Wow.
So my very first LAN I ever went to was just over 10 years ago. I believe it was April 2010. And dude, that was
10 years ago.
Oh, wow.
That's so okay.
Yeah, it was 10
so
years ago.
did you
You okay? You okay, Trevor? You
Hold
okay?
on, no, I'm trying to figure. Okay, so when did you just say I'm not getting a normal job? This is what I'm doing.
Oh, that was way later. So we're talking. All right, let's speed up. So through Team Fortress 2, played that game for 7 years. Got all sorts of cool stuff there. I started playing in tournaments. We started doing all sorts of things, but a hardcore community-backed tournaments, no real money. You can't go pro. So at the time, now I'm done with high school. I'm like 18, 19, 20-ish, I think. Probably about 20. And so I got to high school. I'm like, I have no idea what I do with my life. I should go to community college because it's way better than starting a 4-year. Because remember, I didn't grow up with much money. So you start with 2 years and then you transfer. Right. And so I did my 2 years and then I transferred. And during that time period, Overwatch was announced. And I said, holy shit, this game looks like TF2. I'm going to go pro in that game. Boom. And then I started playing it all out starting from that moment in 2014.
You said, I'm going to go pro in that game. And then you just did.
Yeah, I knew immediately I wanted to go pro in that game. 100%. Because I already did it in TF2. So
yeah, you're like same basic concept.
And a lot of pros came over from TF2, right?
Everyone, pretty much. Yeah. So
that's interesting.
Starting in 2014, all the TF2 community scene, we looked at this game. We're like, holy shit, Blizzard game. They actually are going to have a player base. Yeah, we're going to go pro in that game. And so I started planning it out. Back then, a lot of people thought that Blizzard was chain inviting a lot of the TF2 scene. No one was. It was just me. So it was me. Yeah, not just me, but you'll get the idea in a sec. So during that time period, I realized I wanted to go pro in this game. And to go pro in this game, you got to get in the beta, so that way we could just get number 1 and get good. And so I reached out to everyone who I had ever interacted with in TF2. And I was like, do you know anyone that works at Blizzard? And a lot of people said yes. And so I started working through friends of friends of friends until I found people who worked at Blizzard now who I knew. And I was like, hey, you want to put me on your friends and family list? They're like, yeah. What? I go, okay, how many slots do you have? And they go, 5, 10. I go, okay, cool. So now I got 20 slots and they're willing to give me all their slots. And I'm going, okay, cool. So I go to every single top TF2 pro and I go, hey, you want on this? Yes or no? Yes. Cool. Put your name on the list. Give me this kind of blah, blah, blah. We're in. And then I got like 20 slots. And then we meet up with the Quake guys. And the Quake guys are doing the same thing. But they got bigger connections than we do because Quake was more old school.
Yeah.
And so Quake knew some high up dudes at Blizzard. And they're like, yo, this guy's got unlimited slots. And we're like, oh shit, unlimited slots. Let's go. and then we're just zerging this guy's list. We get everybody in. And then that's how the TF2 scene got into the Overwatch beta. Then afterwards they revamped their friends and family list because we abused it so hard.
Okay.
I have so many things I observed from that story. One is that you said zerg the list, which I think is just the best and nerdiest way you could possibly have said that. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Secondly, I don't think that you're a pro gamer at all. I think that you're like a pro networker. That is some crazy shit that you just finessed your way onto friends and family lists without knowing anyone directly related to those people.
You became the guy with the list.
Eventually, we figured out. I did eventually figure out that one of my friends, who I actually played with a decent amount, was actually working at Blizzard now. I was like, "Oh shit, hell yeah!" And then it all started rolling from there. But yeah, that was early. Yeah. That was early beta in Overwatch. We zerged the list. We got in, and then Blizzard decided Blizzard was really cool about it at first. They were really chill about it, and then they were like, yo, we have internal teams with internal tournaments. You guys are pro TF2 players, or used to be. You guys want to scrim? And we're like, yeah, sure. Gosh. So in the first week of Overwatch beta, we were just scrimming Blizzard devs. And then it was hype, and we were just getting stopped by the devs because some of them were really good. Some of them were really good. One of them, I think, could probably be an OWL pro for a hit scan. His aim was absolutely bonkers even back then. Like if he was a grinder, he could have been. But I think he was some big boy position. But regardless, so we started scrimming against Blizzard devs on stream. We started doing all sorts of fun stuff on stream, and it all started to start blowing up from there. But
holy crap, dude!
In that same week, though, the Blizzard guys got yelled at by Blizzard corporate because they're like, guys, this is a PR nightmare. We have random Blizzard employees with no PR training scrimming against other streamers. And not only that, these guys were hilarious. They started entering into tournaments as a Blizzard team. Yeah, the Blizzard guys, the full Blizzard stack, started entering into tournaments just for fun. And they're like, wait, we're the developer. We can't play in our own game. This is kind of
That's a conflict of interest right there.
Yeah. So they're like, whoa.
Not funny.
They're like, oh, hold up. Like, what are you guys doing over here? And so they had to pull them out. But it was funny.
Holy crap. Did they win money?
No, they were forced to forfeit after their first game because
Oh,
they dropped the hammer on them so fast.
Imagine developers hopped into a tournament.
I'm just thinking,
Wow.
like, who, just like the head of their team was like, guys, what are we doing? And they're like, okay, sorry. Like, who is
that's
the one
actually-
who was
yeah.
like, hey, stop it?
Stop that right now.
And then around that
Oh,
time,
yeah.
there were so many people coming on the streams at that point. I had so many like Blizzard people on the friends lists, and these
Yeah.
are just they're just
Yeah.
people. I mean, it's different these days because these days there's an Overwatch creators Discord where all the devs are in it and they just talk to you. And then other companies like Riot, they're also super open about it, right? Where the devs all just talk to you, they don't care.
Yeah.
Back then it was a lot more tight-lipped. Like they were very scared about it. And so as far as I remember, anyone who wanted to go on streams then had to go through like streamer class and things like that.
Oh,
AKA
wow.
how to not be a dumbass in public 101. And that's
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
something like that.
That makes sense.
People
Holy crap,
change a
man.
little bit in games sometimes.
Jeez.
It happens. That's insane. You've been just full board gaming your whole life. Like this question is usually like pointing like, so they're like, oh, like I play games my whole life, but I went to college and then I got kind of into it in college, and then then when I was 25 I went full time or something, right? You're like, I've been a professional since I was 8. It's just
Pretty much.
I mean, I always wanted to compete. I was never a pro, but I've been competing in tournaments since I was 8, as far as I can remember. There's something like that. It would have been close.
I feel like you're a pro.
It's
Like
just
if you're
super
playing
cool.
for money at that point with a game, I don't know. I don't know what the qualification is for a game like to be considered a pro if you're on some sort of organized team, but I don't know. I would.
It's
I feel like
changed
I would
over the years,
consider
but
you a
back then
pro for
maybe
the most
playing
part.
for money would be.
Yeah, I mean you have a check mark on Twitter. I don't know what else you.
Yeah.
Like I mean you're a pro.
Yeah, these days you write a tweet longer, you're a pro. That's how it works.
Exactly.
There you go.
That's all it takes.
But so as for the question though, we're finally getting back to the real question. The moment I
Yeah.
decided to go pro, the stream was blowing up during that time period because we were TF2 players coming into Overwatch, and that gives you a lot of respect because you're naturally good at the genre, and people just
Yeah.
want to come in and watch. And then I started playing Genji and a lot of other flashy characters, and people were just like, "Holy shit, he's so good! Oh my god!" And we started getting a ton of viewers. And so I talked to my parents, specifically my dad, who said, "Yeah, you should just drop out." And the
Wow.
goal would be, I had just transferred. It was winter 2015. So I just take off spring semester and summer semester. And then if I can't make it within those 8 months or so, then I just go back to school. And then I can make up for the classes the following summer. So I wouldn't really lose anything.
Wow.
And that
That's
was the
like-
plan. And so that's what we did. And then it blew up, and I just been riding that wave ever since.
That's I feel like
Nice.
a common, a relatively common thread where people give themselves a timeline, right? They're like, all right, in 6 months, if I can't make it, then I'll go back. Or if I have this much time to hit success, whatever that number is for you, then I'll go back. That's
Yeah, anyone who does anything otherwise, you can get trapped in horrible scenarios. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
how do I put it? It's if you have to have a timeline, and you have to have a backup plan, and you give yourself an honest shot, but you don't keep dragging it out past that unless you get another real shot down the line or circumstances change. That's how I think it should be done.
Yeah. That's a good
I
point.
think that's a great piece of advice because there's a lot of people out there like now with, I think it's been kind of growing, right? And more people are kids are choosing this interest and going all in on it like you did when you were young. And that's awesome. But that path to pro that you just kind of told me, like, I don't know if you remember, but when I was talking to the Overwatch League, like the path
I
to
remember
pro,
that day.
yeah, so the path to pro thing was always like, I had this experience as a baseball player, and I knew when I was 8 how I could get to the major leagues, technically, because that path existed. Like I knew what boxes I had to check, like because they've been doing it for 50 years, so like I already knew. video games, not really, especially with the number of different games and stuff, not really
Not
there
clear.
like that.
Yeah.
Well,
Go ahead.
so for me though, path to pro was never about being a professional player. It was about being a professional gamer.
Mhm.
And there's a very slight distinction there, which is content creator enough to support myself versus surviving on a tournament contract or an organization contract. I was blessed to have the opportunity that I did to blow up a stream, and that's what made me decide I wanted to go pro. If I had to decide whether or not to go pro without a stream, I would probably not have done it.
Okay.
Interesting. You didn't want to rely on that contract-based, team-based kind of lifestyle.
No, because it wasn't a realistic living. You get paid $1,000 or less a month, and then you don't have any other sources of income, and then you're expected to try and train in those early days. There wasn't enough money. This was 2016, right before VC money and investors flooded the esports scene, and so no one got paid a lot. I was approached even as a huge streamer back then by what are still very tier 1 orgs today for like $300 a month.
Jeez.
Like
And they're like, just stay home, we'll give you some extra money and you can keep playing the game you're already playing.
Or come live at the house, I guess.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Like, come live here. I said no, but I mean, if I didn't have that level of money, it's the esports industry.
You might have needed to do it. Yeah.
It can be very predatory in that regard.
Oh yeah, I can totally see that. And that is the interesting thing too. Like building a brand definitely goes hand in hand, right, with being a professional. Because you need the supplemental income, and there's like in professional sports, there's like varying degrees of that. But for the most part, professional sports can, at least the highest levels, it's FU money. It's way more than you need to live off of. But if you look at like the NBA, how they build their brands outside of even the game too, they do that alongside because they can a lot of times make more money doing that. And streaming has to go hand in hand with it. Not only that, you're one of the best. Like you're like a top echelon player anyways, so that the opportunity there is huge too. And I think I heard you talking about that on stream the other day, just about
I talk about this semi regularly.
How important it is to have a stream, and if you're a really good player.
I cannot imagine trying to be a player and go into today's world of esports and try to go pro. In a lot of the cases, it depends on what scene you're on. I'm just going to give that caveat right there, because in a game like Valorant, actually, those guys make obscene amounts of money regardless of where you're at. But if you're in a tier 2 scene in a game like Overwatch, those guys aren't going to get paid that much because there's not as much crazy money flooding the scene. So you really have to decide, and that's up to each individual person to figure out what lifestyle standards they want and things like that. So
interesting.
Makes
Wow.
sense.
Well, I kind of this is kind of a spin-off then of what we just talked about. And you can pick one of these two things, and we'll just say streaming, because this podcast actually came to fruition because we were talking a lot about how we can, our own experiences now. Paul's been streaming for 7 years. I've been streaming for over 4. So we have had some experience in it, and a lot of the people that come on the show have had a lot of experience and lived a different kind of, taken a different path to get where they are. But so we want people to learn a little bit. Like, there's so many people out there like, I'm going to start a stream, especially with the COVID thing too. It's even more relevant. So what's one thing about streaming that you wish you would have known when you started and had to learn the hard way? Like, what's a tip you would give to someone who's in the first few months of their journey, whether it's like making YouTube or whatever it is? What's one thing you would tell them and maybe save them a little bit of grief?
That's hard because I had such a weird journey compared to most people.
Mm-hmm.
I went from 80 viewers to 6,000 in 7 days.
Jeez.
That's not normal.
It's definitely not normal.
That's a really weird journey. And so I feel very blessed, and also very, I don't know what most people know. The only thing I remember that back then, my biggest regret when it came to streaming was not streaming regularly and treating pro player. I gave professional level play too much of a priority in my life because it was my childhood dream, and I just wanted to do that no matter what. And so I would actively sacrifice streaming to do that just because I wanted to compete, and I didn't give a shit. Because when you grow up without money, any amount of money is insane. So I didn't care if
yeah.
it was just like growing up, like if I didn't care if I didn't make that much money compared to what I could be making. Because to me, it was all just like, holy shit, there's a shit ton of money. I don't care. I'll just do what I want. I'll go play pro because that's I just really, really want to compete.
Yep.
So that would be my only regret is being consistent and finding a schedule back then. Definitely would have saved me a lot of grief later.
What grief in a way? Like what did you experience later on that like really kind of bit you in the butt?
Oh, I mean, I lost like 90% of my viewers because I didn't stream a year and a half.
That'll do it.
That'll do it. Yeah, maintaining, like you said, going from 80s to 6,000 happens, but it's going not.
No, the
going
only
back
reason
to
I
80.
still have a career is because I was fortunate enough to start so high. That's the only reason I still have a career. Back then, when 2016 first hit, I think I was averaging about 40,000 viewers, and then I think I was averaging by
you were the top Overwatch guy.
Yeah, by like 2017ish, I think I had like 20K. Like those numbers are obscene. I just didn't stream for a year and a half, but that's the only reason I still have a career. Anyone else who made those mistakes and did those decisions, you'd just be a fucking dead stream. You wouldn't have a career. I'm just lucky.
Yeah,
it's true. Yeah, I had a similar experience. I took about I'm not not to those numbers, but I essentially took, I can't remember. I think it was like 9 months off of streaming because I wasn't sure I wanted to do it anymore. I got burned out, and I was like, I'm just gonna focus on my other career or whatever, and was able to come back and. In the same way, I feel very blessed that I'm able to have any type of viewership regardless. Like people even stayed subbed during that time. Like I knew you were going to come back, just waiting down the time. Like I was like, I didn't know I was going to come back. So that's incredible.
In reality, they're like, actually, we forgot.
Yeah, that's the reality. They're like, wait, I forgot about this.
I was totally supporting the entire time.
Yeah, we love you, dude.
ActionJaxon. Your name, ActionJaxon.
Hey, it's Tim's
I know
friend,
this
right?
guy.
What's
I
up?
remember him.
Yeah.
Welcome back. My gosh.
That's dude. I forgot. I actually forgot. A lot of people go, "Oh, Fortnite was the, insane numbers," but I remember Overwatch because Overwatch got me into streaming. Like I was just learning how to play it, and then I came. And I'm gonna be honest, you, Seagal, you, Tim, Lassus, I watched Poke back then, like. Bunch of dudes. That's the first ones I watched regularly when I really got into Twitch. I'd watched off and on for a couple of years before that, but those were the big ones. So I got way into Overwatch, and that was when I saw the numbers like, you just said 40,000 views. Like that was kind of unheard of.
That was
super unheard of.
outstanding.
And then PUBG, when then Shroud started to go like 550 to 60.
Yeah,
PUBG.
BRs took over starting in late 2017. Yeah. Because then PUBG
Doc
came up.
Huge.
Doc started early. I think Doc started early 2016. His rise up. That's when H1Z1 was a thing. Was late 2015, early 2016. And then PUBG was late 2017. And PUBG died off pretty fast. And Fortnite started blowing up. Really, I want to say February 2018. And it's just been going ever since. The BR genre is massive.
Yeah, man.
Yep. And every new one, it just kind of those like record numbers just go up above the other one because there's more people viewing it, there's more people interested in it, there's so many kids streaming and like getting PCs and or figuring out how to get their Xboxes or whatever hooked up. Like it's really cool. Exactly. Like it's super cool to watch even from now that we have a podcast now because we're 30. So we're podcast.
I got 2 weeks left.
Man.
I got 2 weeks left.
Yeah,
The brakes.
2 weeks. Oh,
in my 20s, baby.
Whatever. We can play Tarkov. That's the boomer. That's the boomer.
Get drunk and do
FPS.
Molly, right? That's what the kids do. You guys do.
Whoa, hey!
Okay,
We give lots of good advice on this show. It's not one of them.
Don't do that. Sorry, I'm having a crisis.
2011.
Sorry. Seagal, what is your right now? As your, I mean, you've been back for a bit now, but what's overall your best part or favorite part about streaming specifically? Like, what do you love about streaming that kind of keeps you coming back? But also, what's your favorite part of competing as well?
So first off, favorite part about streaming. It's hard to say. I think it's probably just having shit posters in your chat that just make your days so much better. Just anyone who does memes in chat, that is by far my favorite part of that. And having a stream culture where people are encouraged to shit post and come up with stupid rhymes and stupid things, by far my favorite part about streaming. But being able to play new games and experience it with a group of people who will just laugh at me being a dumbass, it's very blessed to have a streaming job. when it comes to competing, there's a lot of different aspects about it I still miss. I think there's a sense of like being on part of a team and competing. There's a sense of like family in that, and you're all part of the same team, all grinding for the same goal.
Yeah.
And you don't have that same level of simpleness in your life where it's not as simple anymore, where you just go, I just want to be the best at this thing, and that's what I'm going to do. And that's it. It's not simple, but obviously the goal of how to get there and the playing is not simple, but the one-mindedness of it is very, very appealing, and I miss that. Because let's say you're a streamer, you sit down, you stream. Okay, well, what's your goal? It's not a built-in goal. What's your goal? What do you want to do? Like, oh, I just want to stream.
Okay, part, right?
Yeah.
That's one of the tough parts, like not getting on and just like going through the motions for like a week.
Yeah. One of my mods was just talking about how he's we're talking about schedule or something like that. He's like, oh well, I have my raid on Tuesday, and then I push Mythic on Wednesday, Thursday, type of a thing. And I was like, God, I miss that feeling of non-responsibility gaming in a way. Like with streaming, there's a certain responsibility of, like you're saying, like you have to decide what your goal is. What are you going to accomplish that day? How are you going to provide content? How are you going to provide value for the people paying for a subscription? And then I'm just going to hop on and grind the shit out of fishing so that I get enough fish for my guild for the raid tonight. Like just like mindless kind of goals like that. But you have one goal that is down this boss. At the end of the night, we're downing this boss. That's the goal. So I can relate to that, at least in a WoW sense.
Yeah, that was a very good WoW metaphor. Yeah, I like that.
Thank you.
Okay, and also you got to be on. This is kind of just a like side question. Is it great? Is it really cool? Like picking up a new game and just like being good at it really fast? Is that fun or?
It always depends on the game you come from. Or
that
where you have
point.
Experience in.
So I've been watching Apex streams, and people are like, "Oh, could you hang in Predator?" And you're like, "Get out of here, kid! I'm easily good enough to be Predator." Obviously, I'm Seagal.
When it comes to stuff like that, yeah, I'm confident about it. That's the only reason I'm even here at all is because I was that confident to begin with. Like the dumbass in 2014 who sees a game by Blizzard, I'm like, I can be pro at that game. Who's going to stop me? I'm just going to go do it, and that's what I did. So I know the genre, I know what I'm really good at, but you put me in a game like Valorant, I'm garbage. Like I'm not actually that good. I'm okay, but I'm not good because that's a Counter-Strike game, which is why, you pick and choose the genres you get good at and the amount of experience you have in them. And that's all you can do.
It is always seeing like perceived pros at least cross over to different games, because like I feel like my gut reaction, not in a negative way, was just like, you don't belong here. This isn't your game. What are you doing? You can't play this.
But to the Overwatch guys playing Valorant, or?
Well, yeah, like that. I mean, even something as simple as watching Nade play Valorant. You're like, you don't know.
Oh, Nade shot, yeah.
That's also why it's so fun to watch, though.
It's true. Really it's like I was. That's actually it's a good point.
Because I always told my stream at one point, I'm like, dude, one of these days I'm gonna be so bored. I'm just gonna log on. We're gonna play League of Legends. I've never really played League of Legends, like once 5 years ago. Yeah. And it's going to be a shit fest, and it's going to be great. And it's like, does anyone going to watch me be good at that? Fuck no. No one cares about being good at that, dude. They're going to watch me log on and be like, I'm just going to die and see me be like, what the hell was that? And chat's just going to be spamming, laughing at me because they know when I don't. I lack the knowledge,
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So that's why I started with Tarkov. I was like, I was going to take that. I was going to be like, haha, I'll just crouch walk around, have no idea where anyone is. And when I'm shot, I'll scream. Like, it'll be funny. And now I'm like, and then I'm like, here I am, freaking 300 hours later. I'm like, I play this too much. I need to stop. I gotta know where something is or where people are. Or
you gotta be good at the game now.
Yeah, I gotta know how to build a gun now. Yeah, because I play this so much.
So now
now we've completely switched it. Like yesterday, I played solo I'd never played this solo. Like I played solo for the first time on last Sunday, just like all day. Yesterday, I played solo for 7 hours before Paul got on. And the whole time I was just like, with chat, I was like, yo, what handguard do I need for this AK? And everyone's like, yo, get this handguard. I'm like, yo, look, it goes right on there. Okay, what's my recoil? And they were loving it. I was like, okay, now we've transitioned on how I can make this game fun to watch because I did not anticipate liking it this much. But now I'm freaking reading Reddit all night.
So, you know you're serious about a game when you hop on the Reddit.
You got a notepad next to your desk, like, okay, I gotta remember
You're
this.
on the subreddit. You're like, oh shit, that's a new update. I didn't know about that. Oh fuck, I gotta put that. You put that gun there. Oh, fuck.
Yeah. So, see, have you played that, by the way? Have you played Tarkov?
Tarkov? Yeah, I have.
We played it a lot.
No, I played it for
Do
like
you
3 or
love
4
it?
days.
Oh,
But do you love it?
It was an addictive game that I'm scared to play more of because I think it get too addictive.
Yeah, you can.
yeah. The progression is so like long term.
Especially because they just reset progression like a few weeks ago,
Yeah,
right?
they did.
Yeah.
Now's the time. Now's the time.
Yeah.
dude.
Now's the time. Now is the time. Everyone's got nothing on. You can
Yep.
you can kill them with anything.
Exactly.
And you got nutty
Like
aim. So
Reed.
One of the very first runs I ever did, I killed somebody who was just fully decked out, like near top and everything. It's like over 1 mil loadout because I just zoned in and I had literally nothing. I had a pistol and I shot him in the air. And that was it.
and he's mad, and you're like, this is so fun and easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was my Tarkov experience. I knew it would never be topped.
Bro, come on back. Come on back. It's time. Join us.
I don't know.
On that note, I think it's time for our ad.
Wait till you hear this thing.
We're sponsored, baby. The
Look at
May
'em go.
Contain Action podcast is brought to you by Manscaped, baby. The reopening is right around the corner, and there's a chance that no one's seen your balls in a few months.
Oh my god.
Don't ruin your first post-quarantine date with a ball fro, bro. Would you show up to a first day of school without a haircut? No. The answer is no. Manscaped is here to provide you with the best tools for your grooming experience. The Lawnmower 3.0 is the best hygiene tool for the modern man. Because their ceramic blade and skin-safe technology, your snags will be reduced while preparing yourself for your post-quarantine life. Manscaped is forever changing the grooming game with their Perfect Package 3.0 essential kits. The Perfect Package 3.0 comes with a new and improved Lawnmower 3.0 water-resistant, cordless body trimmer, performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag for you to use when you're done quarantining. The Perfect Package 3.0 also comes with a crop preserver, crop reviver. The crop preserver is an anti-chafing ball deodorant, which ensures that your afternoon stroll doesn't end with your balls sticking to your leg. The crop reviver is a spray-on toner for your balls. It's made with soothing aloe with hazel extracts that will give your balls a boost. Subscribers to the Peak Hygiene Plan get a new replacement blade to refill your lawnmower trimmer delivered to your door every 3 months, making sure your trimmer stays fresh and clean. The light is at the end of the tunnel, fellas. Treat yourself for making it through quarantine with the Lawnmower 3.0. Get 20% off and free shipping with code MCA at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping when you use code MCA at manscaped.com. Your first date will thank you.
Dude,
That
they
was
need to
incredible.
hire you.
Yeah, that was insane.
Dude, every time you're like, balls. Like, they kept getting so. you barely got through it, man.
That was professional.
Oh my god. Holy.
Who would have not enjoyed saying balls? Who would have thought? You know,
Yeah, who would have thought?
who would have thought? It's a fun word to say.
Dudes never grew up.
Oh gosh, sorry
All
about
right.
that hashtag ad all over your stream, by the way.
No, you're good.
Yeah,
Wow, we loved it. You're totally good.
Hopefully
Just
they're
leave that
being
part of the
not too mean. All right. Before we move on, we have a quick game, but before we do, we got one last question for you. So you decided you played for the Dallas Fuel, the Overwatch League, and you decided to go full-time streaming, right? So when you weren't streaming, you were playing, correct?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Nonstop.
So that's kind of what that window was for, correct?
Mhm.
Is that it coming? Did you just want to come back to streaming, or were you just over the Overwatch? Like, what went into that decision to go? I'm not going to play here anymore, and I'm going to go do this now.
there's a lot that goes into that decision. On a personal level, I love competing, and I wish I didn't necessarily have to stop, but I couldn't find a way to synergize both streaming and competing, particularly within Overwatch. It just doesn't seem possible. Some of those battle royale games, how they kind of work is you just stream everything. Like those guys stream their scrims, they don't even care. Like it's not like there's so much RNG involved to some extent, or rather it's not totally set every single time, that if I watch a Counter-Strike team play and I see every execute they ever do and all their strats, I can counter-strat them really hard. And in BR you can't, so they're safer to usually stream, I think. But
it's just like rotations and
Yeah.
stuff.
there was a ton that went into that decision because I didn't stream for so long. I was just such a hard competitor. In general, the easiest way to sum it up would be I love competing, and I wasn't a fan of everything that went on around competing in the esports industry, particularly in Overwatch. So I just quit. I just got tired of it.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes with that sort of thing, which is
I can imagine.
As a streamer, particularly in a scene that has heavy levels of investment but not much return. This is true of all esports. A lot of these guys are getting paid obscene amounts of money, or there's so much investment going on into the scenes, and these investors are looking for returns. And one of the few ways people will get consistent returns is via streaming, because if you're popular, at least they can sell sponsorship slots or merch or whatever. You get the idea.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it didn't make sense for me to so consistently put myself out there and sacrifice my own stream stuff to compete when those businesses then have a direct incentive to do the opposite, which is find a way to encourage me to stream more and more and more, because that's one of their very few sources of actual income.
Yes.
And I wasn't a big fan of that entire scenario. It just felt like there's two different directions, and I couldn't find a way to fix it. So, and also on a personal level, that's the business side, but on a personal level, how can I compete and stream so often? Because if you stream more, you're letting your teammates down because they need you to practice more. And if you don't, and if you practice more, then you're letting your audience down who wanted to see you and hang out. So there's really no winning, no matter what you do. And I try to avoid those scenarios.
Yeah,
that's true.
I absolutely like. Okay, yeah, it makes ton of sense. I mean, especially when if you're restricting your ability to build your own brand by the organization, that it's like someone else puts the parameters around you. So like I always try to kind of put it in a little bit of a baseball context for me. I can't play baseball outside of this league at this level. Like I can't build that baseball brand outside of playing in this league because all the eyes are on the league. Video games are completely different. You have the ability to get eyeballs on yourself, and you don't. There's no gatekeeper there.
It goes one step further, because in games are the platform. There is no baseball without that one company.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Exactly.
Yeah, it's its own.
They own everything.
Its own platform. Yeah, and they own the game too. So that puts you at their mercy a little bit as well. So it's like. So you basically just got to make the decision, like, this is my ability to continue to grow this, and this is more important to me outside of you're just reducing the friction from gatekeepers. And why would you do something where you created something with no gatekeepers and then then create these parameters around yourself later? Like, why would you go into that situation?
For the love of competition, not because it was ever a sound financial decision. I don't think there's ever been a streamer on Twitch who had 40K viewers and then disappeared for a year and a half because they wanted to go compete in a game that in a game with such small of a scene as Overwatch. Like it's never a thing financially, or it's never logical. It's just because I just love competing.
Yeah, I think we've established that.
Yeah. And so back in that time frame, it just gets so complicated because the level of investment into esports in particular gets really absurd. The Overwatch League slots in particular for that scene are selling at 20 million plus, and so the different games capture investor money in different ways. And so in League of Legends, for example, they do have franchise slots, but not nearly as expensive as the Overwatch League, but their players therefore get paid obscene amounts of money. And so the average LCS salary is 320,000. Tier 1 Counter-Strike players get paid more than that. Valorant beta players get paid a lot of money right now too. There's a lot of money being thrown around, and so in Overwatch, that investor money was captured by the developer because their franchise slots are like 20 million plus, and also the game isn't actually that big, so they can't justify larger salaries anyway. So I think the last public figure I remember saying for Overwatch League salary was like 85K. So you can compare. So if we compare these two, right at the very beginning for each of these. Yeah, Overwatch League slot selling for 20 million. League of Legends selling for 10 million or less, if I remember correctly. But the average LCS player, League of Legends player, makes 320K a year, but the average Overwatch League player makes about 85. I don't really get any of it. It's all just weird.
Yeah, that is weird. That is weird when you put it that way. And it's interesting when you go into saying, okay, how do we get to these numbers? And you'd be surprised how much of it there's how many factors there are that are pretty much arbitrary.
Yeah, I don't pretend to know them all. To me, I'm sitting there just, I don't understand this. This is weird.
I think you have to take into account as well. Like, I mean, I don't know the policies of each individual team, but I got to imagine there's some sort of sponsorship based income as well. Like, let's say your team is sponsored by G Fuel, you have a code, you then would get some sort of commission based off of that. That would be supplemental income that I'm not sure would make it necessarily worth it in those cases, depending on the game.
I think that has to be negotiated.
It might not just
on
be
a case by case.
That is negotiated on a case by case basis. That is not at all the default.
And they will run with not giving you any of it if they can get away with that.
Yeah. So typically, streamers, they would probably make more money staying solo a lot of the time than joining an org. An org, it kind of depends on what you're doing and things like that. Most of the time, like the biggest streamers in the world, I don't really see them joining orgs too often.
Yeah.
Or if they do, it's fairly rare, but I'm actually not sure because I don't know everyone. So
yeah, I think you're right there. You get to a certain point, then it's no longer, you're bringing way more value than you're going to be brought. You know,
and an even playing field. I feel like this is just an observation, and I don't mean to. I'm not disparaging either of these two people or groups, I guess. But like, for instance, when Nick Merckx joined FaZe, that seemed like a decision where both parties benefited equally. Like, I don't think Nick needed to join FaZe, and I don't think FaZe needed to pick up Nick. But combined, it was kind of like they both grew or benefited from that arrangement.
A lot of times, it's just like they just have a good relationship, right? And they're like, let's combine forces here, and maybe we can do some, help facilitate some special stuff that I've never done before, and you have the ability to do because you're an organization, you have more people, working and stuff. Just like Courage going to 100 Thieves. Him and Nate are obviously really good friends, and he had something he wanted to do, and he liked what 100 Thieves was doing. But I don't know Courage's full situation, but like, did he need to? Probably not. But he thought it was. He's like, this is the direction I want to go in. These are the things they're doing, and that fits really well. And it was obviously a great decision for him. I mean, he's a
lot of this
guy.
stuff I think has to do with content too. So
yeah, exactly.
Some of these guys, they join orgs because in Courage's case, they're like, hey, we're making a content house in SoCal. You want in? They're like, hell yeah, this sounds like fun. And he's in a life scenario where he wants to do that. Sure, go for it, dude. Why not? It's a good fit for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. It's content based, not like in Nick's case and in Jack's case, they're joining those as content creators, not as pros.
Yeah,
which I think is a distinction as well. Yeah,
your obligations generally get reduced a little bit when you're a content creator, and as opposed to a pro player too. So in terms of like hours you need to put in into scrim, all that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
it gets pretty complicated when you're a pro player with a big stream presence in that regard, because when they see you, they just see the dollar signs from your stream, and so it just gets very complicated very fast. Like, I remember when I was shopping around 2016, 2017 with those gigantic stream numbers, it was just I had orgs coming to me and they're like, yeah, I'm never going to name the orgs. They're just tier 1 orgs.
Sure.
We'll just say it's, you will know the name. And they came to me and were like, yeah, we want you to lead our new Overwatch team, blah, 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 blah. And I'm going, okay, cool. And we start talking numbers, start getting to the nitty gritty. And they're like, yeah, we got to stream like 120 hours a month. And I'm going, wait, how am I supposed to practice in your team and also do all this other stuff and also stream 120 plus hours a month?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
It gets very complicated.
Yeah.
And then during that.
Go ahead.
Oh, it's just, there's nothing much to it. It's just most orgs look at it like that, where if you're a big streamer, but you can also, you're like the payroll for the team too. So it creates not only awkward dynamics on the business side, but also on the personal side, because in a team, everyone's supposed to be equal, or like you follow the in-game leader, you're like, it fucks up team chemistry when you know that the org only cares about one dude, or like it creates very awkward power dynamics within a team when one guy is that much more valuable than everyone else. It gets very awkward very fast.
Yeah, imagine if you could actually take Michael Jordan, for example, and then put you actually knew how much money he was bringing into the Bulls, like a number compared to everybody else. Like you could actually make that calculation fairly easily. If you could do that with Michael Jordan, how more awkward would it be to be on his team and know that your value is such
that
lower,
would be crazy.
way lower.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Like if you're like, by the way, Michael brings in $300 million a year, guys. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
Like, shut up, Scotty. We only sold 6-year jerseys. And you're like, what?
Yeah, because it's to the org is just business. That's what they're there for. They got to sell it. Yeah. So it's awkward.
The old employer-employee conundrum, man. Old as time, you know.
Poor Scotty.
Well, that was really in depth. That was awesome. But now we have a game, and it's a very simple, easy game. Paul doesn't get to play.
Okay.
It's not really a game. In reality, I'm gonna hit you with some rapid fires. It's gonna be 2 options. You pick the one that you like the most. Learning about you, and it's a lot of times I tailor these a little bit to the guest too. So,
not this time.
This first one doesn't make sense now that I'm thinking about it, but maybe you'll have an opinion on it. But after that, we're good. All right.
Okay.
And here we go. Walgreens or CVS?
Wait, what?
Walgreens or CVS?
Walgreens.
I'm pretty sure we only have Walgreens.
Hell yeah.
Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation.
Nice.
AIM or MSN Messenger?
AIM. Well, both. Trillion.
Okay. Oh, Trillion. That was the
did
first
you
time
forget?
anyone said that to me in years.
Yeah, did you
I
forget
also
about
use
Trillion?
Trillion. Oh my God, I use Trillion too.
Everyone used Trillion.
Yeah, you can do them both. You had them both.
Trillion used to be IRC, MSN, AIM, ICQ, everything, all in one.
Yeah. Oh, that's brilliant.
Wait, what? What is Trillion?
It's like it facilitated all of your different chat services.
Multi-protocol.
It was
instant
Discord
message
back before
application?
Discord.
Yeah, it was basically, with no voice. It was just text. Wow. We've talked about America's Army, Trillion.
Damn.
This is a crazy episode. All right, moving on. Warcraft or Starcraft?
Ooh, Warcraft.
Nice.
My man.
Toilet paper over the top or under the bottom?
Wait, what? Isn't
When you
it
put
just over the top?
New roll. You're putting a new roll over the top, or do you put
Isn't it
underneath
over the
bottom?
top? Am I missing something?
It's always over the top. You pass the test.
Thank God.
I was like, wait, there's an alternative?
Oh,
There
yeah.
is
Yeah. There's right and wrong answer there.
It was a G. Tacos or burger?
Burgers.
Milk first or cereal first?
Who the hell puts in milk first? Cereal first.
Thank you. Good. Mouse and keyboard or controller? I know what you're gonna.
Mouse keyboard.
First. NES or SNES?
I don't know.
You didn't play?
Probably
regular
SNES.
Nintendo.
I don't think I did.
SNES.
Well, I went by your age.
Yeah.
Maybe SNES. I mean, it had Donkey Kong Country. The other one didn't, so I would say that too. Coffee or energy drinks?
Either.
Wow.
Whoa, neither.
Are you not a caffeine guy?
I am, but only caffeine pills. I don't drink any of that actually.
Professional.
Damn.
That's a professional player right there.
He skips the middleman, just goes straight for the bill.
Yeah,
Like, no, I want to know exactly the milligrams. That's
But you
No,
actually
I'm-
want to know? I only take 100 milligrams. That's it.
wow.
It's the same as like 1 cup in the morning. That way I just don't like the taste of coffee. And I only drink milk and water. And so my brother's a pharmacist. He's like, oh, I just take caffeine pills. I was like, caffeine pills are a thing? And he's like, yeah, dude.
Oh yeah.
I said, oh, okay. So I just take that in the morning and I just skip the rest. Makes it easy.
I don't want to put a big hole in the game really quick. I want to understand. You only drink water and milk, and on every morning you'll have a caffeine pill.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's one pack there.
Not even like a tea or like a.
No.
Like a soda,
No.
a juice maybe.
Nope.
Really?
I love drinks. I'm a drink connoisseur.
Okay, dude.
I've drank
small
3
story
different
time.
drinks on this
Small story time.
podcast. All right, continue.
I had to turn. Okay, I was approached to do a small activation with Coca-Cola, and they said no after I told them I don't actually drink anything but milk and water because I had to. I'm gonna disclose it. They're like, "Hey, bye."
You
Okay, I
said
think
no.
I'm gonna tell. I'm not gonna lie.
What I need you to do is lie, Seagal.
In that case, most people would, but I'm not going to.
You
You're gonna have some standards, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it.
Honestly, Seagal, you weren't a serial killer until that came out. You were answering everything right. The only thing suspect maybe was the burger taco question. And I was like, all right, like, he's an American, he's a patriot. Like, sure, burgers are fine. But then all of a sudden you hit me with the all I drink is milk and water. I'm like, this guy kills people. There's no way.
You, Dexter. Dexter only drank milk and water. That is Wikipedia.
Oh shit.
This guy burgers, everyone.
All right, well, we are still in a game.
Sorry.
All right, Zoomers or Boomers? Boomers being, older. Okay, thank you. All right.
Nice.
Awesome. I didn't even have to explain it.
Explain it? Come on.
Well, I mean, I didn't mean actually 55-year-olds. I meant like me. Inception or Interstellar?
Ooh, that's a good one. Can I make a third choice?
Yeah.
Arrival.
Arrival.
Yeah.
What? Hold on. What 1995 movie is this?
It's not.
Arrival. It's a
Arrival is
it's an alien
2016.
movie.
2016.
Not by him. It's not by Christopher Nolan.
Oh, Amy Adams, Jeremy Renner, Forrest Whitaker.
You should watch it. It's good.
It's really good. Arrival's really good. You should watch it.
Huh.
Cool.
Never saw that. All right, cool.
And he's got that new one coming out that looks like Inception and Interstellar had a baby.
Tenet. Yeah, Tenet's gonna
No one knows what the hell that shit's gonna be until you watch
have
it.
no idea what it's about.
You watch the trailer, you're like, wait, what?
What?
What was that movie with Bradley Cooper and he takes the pill and he starts forgetting stuff?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
No.
No? I thought.
No, not when he's a raccoon.
Oh,
Limitless?
my bad.
Limitless. It's got like a limitless vibe.
That's
Like
right.
they're like superhuman. I don't know.
My bad.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah. My bad. Yeah.
This is the Courage JD question. Transformers or Star Wars?
I've never watched Star Wars.
I'm facing you so hard. How? What? Did you watch Transformers?
Yep.
Did you like it? Well, okay, you're half right. MySpace or Facebook? I think Paul's gone, so he's not going to participate.
I've never even used MySpace or Facebook. I use Facebook for one. Okay, I used Facebook once.
Okay, so Facebook then?
Sure. Never really used either of them.
I'm like, oh, are these good questions? Of course, MySpace, Facebook, literally everybody in the world but you has used them both.
Where is the body? Where'd you bury the body? Where's the body?
Look, so I used Facebook for like 6 months once, and then I deleted my account like 2008 because I thought the site sucks.
It still kind of does. Twitter or Instagram?
I think I use Twitter more, but I just post cat pics on both.
Okay, so Twitter, awesome. TikTok or Vine?
I've never used either of these two, but
Brandon, you.
I'm just gonna. I know what they are. We'll go with
I know
Vine.
what they are.
We'll go with
man.
Vine because it's older.
You started so strong.
Yeah, there we go. That's a valid way to come up with the answer. Team Edward or Team Jacob?
Who?
Okay. Twilight View, come on. That's your age group. Do you like the dude who played the other guy in Harry Potter, or do you like the other guy who's not been in any other movies? We're gonna skip this one.
What's the explanation?
That was awful. Cedric Diggory, what's his name? I don't know what that actor's name is.
Good old Cedric, yeah.
He's Batman now. He's the new Batman.
Oh yeah, just stop.
He is? Okay,
He is.
I'll take
He
it.
plays the new Batman.
How many new Batmans are we gonna get?
Dude,
where
it's
they
exhausting.
realize
Just commit
Christian
to the
Bale's
role.
Batman.
Commit to the role. Sorry, go ahead.
Movies or TV series?
TV.
Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter?
Lord of the Rings.
Yes. Okay. TF2 or Overwatch?
Wait, what? Ooh. There's so many aspects to this question.
Yeah. But it's rapid fire, remember?
Yeah.
Rapid fire, huh?
Because we're definitely going rapid here. You're
We're
taking
going
away
real rapid right now. My
Oh,
first
yeah.
gut did say TF2 for the emotional part of it. My immediate emotional
TF2.
response to TF2.
Feature.
Okay.
That's what we're looking for. Perfect.
WoW Classic or Burning Crusade?
I played Dark Age Combat during that era. I'll say TBC. It's a little bit older.
I actually didn't understand a word you just said. That's incredible.
Wait, what did you play again? Say that again.
What did you play?
I played Dark Age of Camelot.
Dark Age.
I said I'll
Dark
choose
Age.
TBC because TBC is slightly older.
You said
Burning Crusade.
TBC. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. I thought you were like, I thought you played some sort of fringe Korean MMO
Oh, no,
from like 1995.
I played
and I was
almost
like,
every
I don't know
MMO
what
during
he's
that time.
talking
Yeah,
about.
no.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right. My bad.
You don't know what Dark Age is?
My bad.
Yeah, come on, bro.
Did you play Tryon? Because I played that, dude. That was
Yeah.
awful.
I know what it was.
Try on these pants. Am I right?
No. All right, last one. Very important. Internet. Yeah. Question.
Internet?
Pineapple on pizza? Yes or no?
No.
Thank God. You know what? You totally redeemed yourself. You totally don't kill people. There's
That
no
was
way.
no, that was a roller coaster. He's definitely stabbed a couple people. I don't know. That's so the jury is out on that.
God. Good times. Good times. So that is the game. We just learned so much.
All right. I
That
do
was a
have
lot.
dude. But I only know my friend. Remember my friend who gave me $500 who played WoW
yeah.
Classic all day?
Yeah.
He convinced me to log on WoW because he wanted me to play WoW. I was like, dude, I love this game. You gotta play it. And I logged on. Give me 800 gold.
Uh-huh.
Like
Dude, that
you-
is
if you play
so
WoW
much
Classic,
gold.
then you know.
He
Yeah.
gave you.
I
he
think you
gave
buy
you
literally
800
anything
gold.
for 800 gold. I think you buy everything
Yeah.
in the game.
Bro, who are these friends that you had? $500 real life, $800 in gold,
You own, dude.
800 gold. Okay, dude, that's insane.
I legitimately think during WoW Classic, 800 gold, if you bought it from a gold farmer, would have been like literally not $100.
I had
Yeah.
another friend who was the one selling the gold to the gold farmers.
I have a announcement. In 2014, I did that as well.
Did you?
Yes, during the season.
Really?
Yep, I had 4 accounts.
Oh,
I want to get into it. All right. But yes, I did farm grow for a while. And it was a lot of fun. I
Nice.
learned about economics. All right.
Great job in the game, Trevor. Nicely done, dude.
I worked hard. Thanks.
Great work. It really reveals the true intentions of our.
It really
of our
does. I
guests.
like it.
Yeah, it's
All right.
nice.
Last segment.
Yeah. Sorry, our last segment. I just really quick. I just been noticing throughout this entire podcast, and I don't want to make it a thing, but maybe one listener out there is understanding what I'm saying. I feel like Seagal a little bit. Maybe it's your cadence. You occasionally sound like former President Barack Obama. There are times when you speak when you randomly just and you sound a little bit like him.
I
Like
don't know about that.
like a little bit. You're like, yeah, we give me $500 and I use your voice on computer. And like,
Okay, dude.
I take it this is the first time someone's told you sound like former President Barack Obama.
Yep. That is by far. Yep. Never heard that one before.
I
Yep.
need
Oh my
everyone
God.
to just listen to him. Just go back and listen to this podcast again. And just tell me I'm wrong. I just wanted to point that out really quick. We're going to our next.
All right.
section.
Well,
It's the cadence. I think
I
it's
don't know
the
what
cadence.
to do with that. So
You don't have to do anything with it. It's just thrown out there into the ether. I want to let our listeners really digest it.
All
right. So this next section, our last section it's pretty simple. Seagal, we just want to know who you would like to shout out / who you've been watching recently, whether it be a streamer or TikTok, which we've discovered you don't really use, YouTube channel, anything like that. Just any content creator or group of content creators that you've been watching or enjoying recently. So to give you some time to think about it, you don't have to be put on the spot just yet. I'll go first. I have recently been watching and enjoying Wavy, playing The Last of Us. And just his content in general, I get to hop in on. His name is Wavy, WAVY, on
Friend of the
Twitch.
pod.
Friend of the pod, yes, friend of the podcast, Wavy. Twitch.tv/Wavy. He's on Twitter at Wavy on Twitch. is his ad, and he's an all-around variety streamer. He plays a whole bunch of story games. He'll play a lot of Mario Maker. He'll play Animal Crossing recently and stuff like that. He's just a really, really good content creator. If you raid/host him, he will make a freestyle rap about you. It's fantastic.
Wait, what?
It's real. He will freestyle rap about you.
It involves penises
chat.
a lot. Usually, yeah,
he does like to talk about wieners
so really quick, but
yeah, he'll ask chat for like random words, so like random words in the chat, and it'll just like use that and freestyle rap of it. It's fantastic.
He's a really talented dude. Just to kind of top to bottom, he's an amazing artist too.
Yes. He also won like Twitch stream something. He was like a winner of a Twitch like make this your job type of a thing, and won some money from Twitch to like do it full time. So anyway,
what the hell? That's sick.
Yeah, it was a sweet program. They gave him like essentially an income for a year to stream because he won this whole game show thing on Twitch like about 2 years ago.
Okay, that's awesome.
Pretty well. Yeah, it was sick. Yeah, his community is awesome and super supportive, and he did a great job. So, he's twitch.tv/wavy and @wavy on Twitch. Check him out. He's some of the best content on Twitch, in my opinion, variety wise, that you can find. So, Trevor, have you been watching and consuming one recently?
Yeah, I've actually been lurking regularly in Julie, One Shot Girl, also former guest and friend of the pod. Mostly because she's now with the wipe. She's playing Tarkov pretty much full time now.
Yep.
And she is the nicest human being in the world. And
True.
When she dies, she's like, "Oh, dang it. Well, next one." And I'm just like, So like when I'm like, "Oh, I never want to play this game again," you watch her for like an hour. Like, I could do this. Let's do this. We can do this. She can do it. I could do it. Right.
Yeah.
So she's really been honestly getting me back. Like, all right, try again. Okay, try again. And she built a really great YouTube channel. It's one_shot_girl. I think the O is a 0 in shot.
No, it's
she explained this.
GURL.
And GURL. That's on Twitch. And she built a big YouTube channel before and has actually, it's fairly recently, I think within the last year, she started live streaming. But she's extremely good. She's good at the game too. So like it's a nice little
highly positive person.
Very, very like there's a lot of positive streamers out there. She might be the number one I've found. She might be number one. Everyone's like, wow, she's raging right now. I'm like, what? No one's been to my channel very clearly. Yeah, One Shot Girl on
Love
Twitch.
That. Perfect. Seagal, do you have anyone you've been watching recently? Anyone that you want to give a shout out to?
So the first one would probably be for YouTube. There's a fellow by the name of Skill Up YouTube who does a lot of game critic and game review stuff. I love all of his content. I think he's awesome. I've watched him off and on for a lot of stuff, just random videos that he posts based on the games that I like to play or I'm curious in. But he does really, really good stuff, although he is a bit long-winded sometimes, but he's good. And then for Twitch streamers, probably Baru, because that guy is still somehow streaming and I don't know how. He got an ear infection in both of his ears and he has a ruptured eardrum and can move his jaw and he hurts, and then he broke his leg and then he's just hanging out streaming. I'm like, okay, dude.
Oh my God, who beat this man? Goodness gracious.
Yeah, he's just gotten really unlucky this year. and then also through Baru and through Overwatch a long time ago has been Arcadum, who has been slowly and steadily growing as mostly D&D campaigns as
Of course.
a DM, but he is amazing. I don't personally watch a lot of his content because I don't care too much for D&D, but every single interaction I've ever had with him, he is an amazing human being every time I've talked to him. Because he'll try to rope me in. He's like, Seagal, you want to play some D&D? I'll start this new campaign. We got all these ideas. And I'm like, Arcadum, I love you, but I don't like our D&D or role playing that much. He's like, you will eventually type of thing. He's like, I'm going to keep trying. And he tries like every year. He's awesome though.
Arcadum. Wow.
Have you heard of Arcadum, Paul?
I've heard of the name. Yeah, I've heard the name.
Okay, yeah, because he was a GM Overwatch player, tank, and he was Reinhardt, right?
I've heard Tim talk about him quite a bit.
Ryan, yeah, and he would get in everyone's games, and he'd RP the whole time as Reinhardt.
Yeah, he was awesome,
incredible,
and he's awesome. Yeah, and he's
just like, kept RPing for years,
but he's just like never not RPing. He's like Gubba. He's just like you can't get him out of character.
God, it's amazing.
He's become the character.
I don't know how people do that.
Nice.
Brandon, thank you for sharing those people. Seagal, sorry, want to freak out your community. Seagal.
Well, thank you.
Hear your real name and their ears bleed. Appreciate those. What's next for you as far as just really quick, like events? Obviously not really events because COVID. Any special streams you have coming up or any merch you want to give a shout out to? Anything that you're doing coming up that you just want to highlight?
Nothing too much. Just shout out to my chat for always being there and watching. I think that's number one. They're adorable for staying with me this long. I don't know how they do it.
Guys, you're adorable.
I don't know if I have anything super big planned right this second. But most of the time, I'm just trying to convince my friends to play games again, but they're all stuck and doing their assorted like games, getting stuck in and whatnot. But soon.
Yeah. No, that's perfect. That makes sense.
Just waiting for Cyberpunk, man.
Gotcha.
Dude, I just hope Cyberpunk doesn't. What was it? Watchdog us. You know,
it can't.
That's what I don't want.
Don't put those heathen thoughts in my mind. All right, Cyberpunk's gonna be great.
It happens every year. There's always some mega hype game that we hear about. Oh, it'll come out in 15 years, and we're talking about it for 15 years. It eventually comes out and it's like, well, this looks nothing like it did at E3, and then we're like, oh, okay, and we leave it alone. It happens every decade.
Or like Star Citizen, everyone's like, yeah, it's cool. Just like nothing really works, but it's cool.
Oh my gosh.
Can't really do anything, but it's cool.
$28,000 ship.
Yeah. Remember Anthem? I had to think about that game. I was like, what was I playing?
Look, they're remaking Anthem. It's going to be great.
Oh, and that's what we always rely on. There was like, oh, we really up here. Oh, and it's Dr. Lupo. I hit the wrong button on my GoXLR.
I was wondering.
Anyway,
popped in here.
Anthem sucks. All right. Well, good to know. All right, awesome. Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate you being on the show. You did fantastic.
For having me. It was fun.
Of course. Absolutely. Quickly before we go, I just want to give a shout out to everyone that came in and listened to this podcast as well as watches the VOD on YouTube as well. But keep in mind, anyone watching, listening, you have two ways to get on the pod yourself. In addition to the review of the week, which I will read here in a moment, you can use hashtag AskMCA on Twitter for the next guest when they are announced and ask them a question. We'll read it from the chat as well. And before you go, our actual review of the week is from T436946. It's clearly a
real name.
Robot.
Very real.
Very real name. This is the first podcast I have ever listened to like clockwork. I look forward to the next episode as soon as I finish one. Thank you for creating such an amazing show. Thank you, T436946. A lovely comment. I appreciate it. Again, guys, if you can, leave a comment anywhere you can. We look for YouTube. We look for Spotify, or not Spotify. You can't do it on Spotify. We look for Apple Podcasts. Anywhere you can leave a comment to pull from these. Leave a comment wherever and 5 stars. This is the May Contain Action. Again, you can listen on all the major podcast carriers, including Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud. Watch the VOD on YouTube, which comes out at about 1 p.m. Friday Eastern. Leave a 5-star review. And an actual word review with your words in it about how you like it. Also, go follow at May Contain Pod on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Brandon, plug your stuff, man. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitch, _Seagal. Usually live from Wednesday to Sunday. So no streams on Mondays and Tuesdays. From usually speaking around 11 a.m. Pacific to 5 or 6 p.m. Pacific.
Love it. Well, small sign of a serial killer that you would have your days off on Monday and Tuesday, the most hated days of the week. Interesting.
But also the days with the least amount of traffic on Twitch.
Didn't know that.
I put my thought into these things. Okay.
Wow.
Freaking right.
Than us.
God, he's so much better at streaming. We suck.
How's Sunday? Sunday a good day?
Sunday is the highest traffic day on Twitch.
That's the one day I take off. It's the only day I don't stream.
Same. Well,
we suck at this. Trevor, plug your stuff, man. Where can people find you?
I am Trevor May on just about everything: Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, and TrevMay65 on Instagram. And if you are interested in the baseball side of my life and learning about how to get better at baseball, you are in that very, very specific group of people. Trevor May Baseball is my second YouTube channel where I make YouTube stuff for that.
Love it. Fantastic. And I am Paul. aka ActionJaxon. That's ActionJaxon. You can find me on twitch.tv/ActionJaxon, on Twitter @ActionJaxon, on Instagram @ActionJaxonBTW, like by the way, because that's not available still. And that's it, because those are only 2 social medias I really care about. TikTok, occasionally you can go follow me there at ActionJaxon, by the way, on TikTok. But that is it, guys and gals. Thank you so much for watching and for listening to the May Contain Action podcast. And again, huge thank you to Seagal, our guest, for coming on and dropping some absolute esports knowledge on us, despite his horrific serial killer past. So, thank you. Thank you, Seagal. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Nailed it.
You are free.